So I pretty much started treating the general population, and I was heading up to a powerlifting competition. When 1 week out before my competition, I was squatting, I fell forward and I hurt my back. Couldn't lift 20 kilos without pain, and still really wanted to do the competition. Fast forward, I did the competition, and then after that, I just couldn't get back to powerlifting. Back then, I basically got seeked out a lot of physios to help me get back to competition because I wanted to get back to powerlifting. But back then, almost all the physios told me to just quit powerlifting, and once you have a disc injury in your lower back, there's no point in powerlifting. That got me really upset, and I just had this drive to prove them wrong. So I went and saw multiple different physios, and then I also went and obsessed over lower back and hips and learning how to treat it. So in my time away from work, I would just start treating lifters for free, then coming to my 1-bedroom apartment, trying to help them get on the platform, and in turn help myself get on the platform. So fast forward to a year later, after learning from all these people and also my own research, I got back to powerlifting. Got 2 nationals, and eventually later I qualified for the World Championships. The reason why I opened this clinic was I basically found that there was not enough support for people that want to continue training or athletes. I just found that the treatment approach to physio was too manual therapy based and too much massage with no focus on building into the sport or building any strength to get back to the sport. So that was the biggest issue I found in the industry, and also not enough processes to slowly get back to a certain sport. It was always just retire because you can't do that anymore. So the biggest motivator for that was to change the perception of the health industry and the change the perception of athletes as well as people to realize that their body is a lot more malleable than they think it is, and a lot more resilient by following certain processes to get there. So that was the biggest driver to open PB, to educate people that your body is a lot more resilient. You can get back to what you want to do as long as you put the work in, as long as you start actually pairing manual therapy with exercise with strength work. What I really focus on is structures, systems to make sure that we check boxes and not just miss things. What I do notice with physios or in the health industry is there's too little emphasis on ticking boxes of where to get to, and just I'll just treat this because it's a recipe, and I'll treat this because that's what I was told to do, instead of personalized treatment where if this person is moving this way, we need to treat not just the back. Most of the time it comes from something else, so we need to treat the back. We need to tick off certain factors in the back, and then we need to treat the root cause, which is those hips, and slowly build towards that. I do find that most physios out of uni, if you have back pain, they are just too laser focused into the back, but not what is causing it. In terms of the body is a kinetic chain, so there are chain reactions. So if you're just treating the back, you're missing a key part of the recovery process. So how it has evolved, it started off with a lot of strength focused athletes, because I have a name in powerlifting, and then it started evolving where we start seeing different strength sports like weightlifting, strongman. Now each physio then now has a specialized focus or specialized passion about in their field. So like Julia, let's say, is very passionate about pelvic health. So she works with prenatal, postnatal, general population, getting them ready for birth, getting them back to sport. And then she also works with elite athletes to get them back to sport after pregnancy. So let's say Julia works with pelvic health. Martin then is very interested in volleyball, so he works with volleyball athletes. I like that each person in that field has that passion and does that sport, because it just makes you, if you just preach to people on how to do something without feeling it, I don't think there's as much value as when you feel it yourself and you're passionate about it, and then you treat that athlete. So how it's evolved where we not just treat strength athletes now, we use the components of strength training into the general pop, into volleyball, into pelvic health, into Muay Thai, into fight. So we have broadened our spectrum of patients where we just treat almost like a bunch of different sports, like diving, ice skating, just taekwondo, just random sports. Because of the knowledge of everyone here and because of the different sport, sometimes people feel a bit intimidated because they're like, oh, what if I don't train? Can I still see you? So we have the experience of getting you from even no training, just general population, back to, or even actually better than what you were, your baseline. And then we have our specialized niche. So if you feel like, oh, I'm a bit intimidated by that, don't be, because we're actually very used to treating the general population. We're used to treating each different field of sports, as well as how our main goal is to get you back to functionally being better as what you were before, versus you worrying about, oh, am I good enough to be treated here? Greatest achievements, we actually thrived through COVID. We got more physios through COVID because we were able to reach more countries through the pandemic, and we expanded upstairs because of COVID. And then greatest achievements would be starting a new HQ led by Julia in Olympic Park, specialized in pelvic health. Other greatest achievements is that we have a worldwide name. So we have about 20,000 followers on Instagram, and people seek us out as physios to treat them, but also seek us out to learn from us. So we are teaching other physios in different countries, as well as in Australia, on how to treat and how to exercise people. A lot of universities in Australia have asked to do placement with us. So there is someone coming from Melbourne in the next few months to do a placement with us. There was someone from America that came to learn from us and do a placement, and Canada as well. So we just have a bunch of physios through the community that want to learn from us and work with us. Other greatest achievements is Julia was invited to present in an Incontinence Australia presentation to gynecologists as well as doctors as a physio. Greatest achievements for me, I went to the World Championships in 2022. I represented Australia in the 52 kilo weight class, and I also was the Team Australia's physio, as well as the physio for the World's Powerlifting Championships in South Africa. Since starting PB Physio, we've not just have physios, now we have physios, massage therapists, coaches, exercise physiologists, as well as a Pilates instructor. We've grown from 2 to 16 in a team. So our mission statement is to stop athletes retiring due to injury. So what we found that athletes would get injured and would be forced to retire. So our mission statement is to stop athletes retiring due to injury and make sure that they retire on their own terms versus retire because they can't do it anymore. So our values is strength, progression, and honor. We believe that mentally you should be strong as well as physically. Progression would be every single step of the way you want to continue getting better or hitting goals. It doesn't matter if it's small or big, but as long as we're heading in one direction. And then being honorable would be being completely transparent with how we treat you as a patient, and making sure that you understand and that we educate you on how to make yourself better versus relying on us. So how you can get in contact with us, you can call us at 0295731702. You can also book in online at www.pvphysiotherapy.com.au. We have an Instagram page and it's at pvphysio, and I will give you content on and educate you on your body as well as exercises and tips on how to get yourself better.